the wheels.
Hello to all our fans at Prospects Live. Today I have the privilege of speaking with #1 Twins prospect Royce Lewis. Royce, how are you doing?
Man, Jacob, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We have some clips that you got to look at before the interview started. In these 3 clips, we've got you taking batting practice in high school, and then in spring of 2018, your first full-length professional season, and then lastly, at the very end of 2019, taking BP. So could you walk us through any kind of tweaks that you remember making in your swing?
Yeah, so I mean, in the first videos at the Perfect Game National in Florida, and that would have been my junior year off season. You know, it was very hot, humid. It was my first time in Florida. It was something different. But, you know, in terms of the swing, I had such a rhythm to it at the time. And I think, like you said, what makes you change? What are you tweaking? Growing up, my whole life, my dad has said, like, he noticed whenever I tweaked, it was just natural. As a kid, you just naturally do it. One game you look like one way, the next game it's something different, and you don't really have a rhyme or reason. I think my dad and I came to the conclusion that it's kind of like your body. How does your body feel? And as you grow and mature, I had games where I'd stand up tall, and I thought I was batting like Torrey Hunter because that was my guy at the time. And then some games I'd be out wide like Albert Pujols with no leg kick or anything. And he was always kind of like, you know, why is he doing that? What's going on? And so we came to the conclusion that it was just because of comfort and me growing in size or height. It just worked best with my body. And I think that flow and that energy, you know, just go with it, because I think that's the best advice I can give to anyone growing up until at least high school, is just kind of figure it out your swing through just playing and having fun and competing at the plate, not necessarily like, oh, I'm gonna put my hands here and this and that, because those things you can learn later on. You know, now on to the next video, you talk about I'm in spring training and it's my first or second season with the Twins, maybe first full season really. Same thing, you notice my hands have a lot of movement. My leg kick is out and I'm really jumpy towards the ball. That was something that I noticed a lot. I just kind of kept going with the flow. I felt like I was still, you know, physically maturing and growing into my body. And so, you know, you get uncomfortable being out too wide or being too tall. So I was trying to find a middle ground myself, but I made it work, had a fun season with it. And then in the last video, that's me at the fall league, and it's very similar. I'm still jumping. My leg kick, if anything, looks a little bit higher even. My hands are higher and farther away from my body, technically, compared to the other two, and they're still moving a ton. And, you know, I had success with it, so I don't think it's necessarily whether or not I have success with it. It's more about comfort and consistency now, especially as you get into facing guys that are more dominant, more control-based, and have nastier stuff in the big leagues and AAA, AA, etc. Going forward, my main goal was to switch, like, for instance, right now, I'm going through a phase of trying to eliminate hand movement. It's going to happen naturally because you have to have a rhythm in your swing. You have to. And so it's going to be more minimal than what you see in these videos. And then my leg kick is more of a sway, to me at least, feel-wise. It looks more of a sway than a leg kick. But to the average person or to a fan or viewer watching, it looks like a normal leg kick, which is just comfortable for me. I don't think that'll ever change unless I need to make a dramatic adjustment to the next level of pitching. Or if I'm missing pitches I feel like I should hit, then that's when I'll make a bigger adjustment. But I feel like you always got to stick with your natural true swing. You know, some people have high leg kicks, some people don't want to move at all. And so you just got to find what's best for you and stick with it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm just making small minor adjustments here and there with hands not moving as much, or mainly the mental approach at the plate with the pitcher you're facing. That's kind of my new thing now.
Got it. So to kind of finish that whole progression that you just took us along, could you grab the bat that you have now? And by the way, what lumber are we working with here? What's this bat that you've got?
This bat I got at the Futures game for Louisville. Nice. Yeah, they make great bats, man, and they do a great job. And you know, I got this, and I don't hit with this at all. This is more of a memorable bat for me. Yeah. Something off my man cave one day whenever I get one. But yeah, my hand movement that I'm talking about, like in that video, you'll see, if I have enough room, my hands are moving like a lot more like this, almost like a Gary Sheffield type thing, but mid
Uh-huh.
swing, mid leg kick. And so it kind of threw off timing and it was inconsistent. If I was in a rhythm, you have a really good hot streaks because it helps being in a rhythm. But then whenever I was out of rhythm or feeling uncomfortable at the plate, I get in really bad cold streaks, which in the pros and what makes you people great and different and separate is, instead of going 0 for 30, maybe going 0 for 10. And those next 20 at bats, you go 10 for 20. So,
Yeah.
over that time, now you're 10 for 30 instead of 0 for 30. Now the new move is, I can show you from the side, is I'm just kind of sitting right here. And the hands are in the same spot placement wise, a little bit closer to my body to where now I'm just going down and it's just a straight punch. My hands are very direct to the ball. They always have been, but it just helps for me to be more consistent and I can go like on a dime. Whenever I say go in my head, my hands will be able to go instead of me moving and I say go. Well, now I have to get back into comfort, into slot and then go. So that takes more time than if I'm just sitting here quiet. And my movement now is just very little to where I don't even think I'm doing it. But when I watch video, it's just a little bit instead of it being like this. And then I say go. And now, as you saw, I just had to pause and wait for my hands to catch up to my body. And so from the front, it looks like I'm doing this at the end before, and now I'm already there and I'm saying go and I'm already ready to move instead of from here, I'm saying go. I have to get back here
Yep.
and my body's moving forward. So it just gets you all out of sorts. And that's basically the swing. That's the adjustment I made. And I'm still working on, obviously, but I felt like it made a big difference in the alternate site in 2020 during COVID year. It also helped me drive the ball the opposite way, which I feel like I do a good job of, but I just got to do it more consistently too, getting to that outside part of the plate there.